Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. Today's topic, and I'm going to jump right in because I got to get to my kids today. Yay! Today's the beginning of my summer program, and I got to get to my kids. Today's topic: doing changes being. Doing changes being. So I'm going to jump in by saying our actions create who we become. One of the biggest lies people believe is this: once I become better, then I'll do better. And some of us bought the lie when Oprah said, when we know better, we do better. We do. But when we become better, we'll do better. No, do better so you become better. Life actually works the opposite way. You don't magically wake up disciplined. You don't suddenly become confident. You don't accidentally turn into a leader, y'all. You don't turn into a healer or a visionary or peaceful person or purpose filled or purpose driven person. You become those things by repeatedly doing the things connected to them. That's how you become. Today's topic for folks just joining. Good morning, Alana. Good morning, Wendy. Doing changes being. You become those things by constantly doing them. Every single day, your habits are introducing you before your mouth ever does. So today, I'm going to give you three quick points. Y'all already know I'm the 3-point queen. I'm going to give you 3 quick points about how our actions create who we become. Good morning, Val. First, small actions build big identity. Y'all, I didn't become the amazing T Street with little things. Y'all, I just kept doing, I became that. I didn't step on one stage, y'all. Do you know how many small stages and how many small speeches I did? Do you know how many crowds of 10 I spoke to before I ever spoke to 10,000? Small actions build big identities. Most people are waiting on a huge breakthrough. I can't wait for my breakthrough, while ignoring the small, consistent behavior that produces breakthrough. Your life is not built in giant moments, y'all. It's built in daily decisions. Every time you show up, every time you make one decision to tell the truth, every time you practice or apologize or study or pray or rest or forgive or try again, you are becoming someone else. See, confidence doesn't become before action. Confidence comes from surviving action repeatedly. How do you become confident? Y'all want to know how I became confident enough to stand on the stage in front of thousands of kids? I kept standing on the stage in front of thousands of kids, scared. I got on stages that I wasn't ready for. You don't get ready by standing in the back. You get ready by doing the thing that you're afraid of. That's why the person who keeps speaking eventually becomes a speaker. The person who keeps writing becomes a writer. The person who keeps helping becomes compassionate. You don't become great by thinking about greatness. We always tell our kids, what do you think? No, what are you going to do? I always ask them. I never ask them what they want to be when they grow up. I ask them, who are they becoming today? And I ask that question because you're becoming through your actions, through the daily habits that you're forming and the daily actions that you are taking. You are already becoming, because doing changes being. Number 2, repetition rewires you. Y'all, repetition, that's how I learned everything that I do. I learned it over. I have to do it over and over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes the habit. That's why Stephen Covey says it takes 21 days to form a habit. You got to do it consistently and persistently for 21 days. What you repeatedly do eventually feels natural. At first, y'all, it feels awkward. Going to the gym, when I first started, y'all, it didn't just feel awkward. It felt awful. When I was going to get up a few weeks ago at 5 a.m. in the morning, it just felt awful. Not just awkward, awful. Speaking up when something is wrong. When I first became a person who was an advocate for things that were important, it was always awkward because nobody likes to feel like what you feel when you speak up and people don't like what you have to say. Healing feels awkward. Being disciplined feels awkward, but repetition changes you. At first, you're forcing the behavior. Then eventually the behavior, it forms you. That's why negative habits are dangerous. If you repeatedly procrastinate, you become someone who delays. If you repeatedly quit, this is what I tell kids, quitting becomes your norm. If you repeatedly speak negatively about yourself, eventually your identity starts agreeing with your words. If everything that comes out of your mouth about yourself is negative, eventually that becomes your identity. It starts to align to what you say about who you are and what you believe about who you are. But the good news is this: you can intentionally practice becoming. Ooh, I like that. You can intentionally practice becoming. You can literally rehearse your future self. Want to become more courageous? Practice courage in small moments. Want to become kinder? Practice kindness intentionally. Want to become spiritually strong? Keep praying even when you don't feel deep. Do y'all know, by the way, God don't require us to have deep prayers? Sometimes, Lord, my prayer is like, Lord, I love you because you are. Lord, I need you. Those two things. That's sometimes as deep as I can go. But God hears that. Repetition is renovation, y'all. Repetition starts to fix the parts of us that need to be repaired. Every healthy action is remodeling your life from the inside out. Number 3, stop waiting to feel like it. Y'all, I'm the queen of I don't feel like it. Okay, that's my confession for today. I am the queen of I don't feel like. Good morning, Toya. I don't feel like it. This right here is the game changer. Too many people are letting feelings lead their future. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel ready. I don't feel confident. I don't feel qualified. But maturity says this, y'all. I may not feel it yet, but I'm going to move anyway. I may not feel it yet, but I'm going to move anyway because movement creates momentum. Sometimes the action comes first and the feeling catches up. You might be running your fast race of action, and then while you're in mid stride, all of a sudden you feel like running. But can I just tell you, don't wait on the feelings and don't let that be the predictor of your future. There are days disciplined people don't feel disciplined. Real talk, y'all. Some days I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like doing coffee with tea. I is tired. And I know, y'all, I am tired. But can I tell you, I do it anyway because it's a disciplined practice that God told me to do for y'all and for me. There are days strong people feel weak. There are days joyful people feel exhausted, but they keep doing. And eventually their actions reinforce their identity. That's why successful people are not always the most talented people. Can I tell y'all something? I'm not the most gifted orator. I'm not always the smartest person on a stage. But what I am is consistent. When I get called, I show up. I show up for big stages. I show up for small stages. I show up for classrooms. My friend Val is on here. She will tell you I've come to speak to her class of 30 kids when she was teaching 8th grade. I show up in small spaces consistently doing the thing, which is what created the being. Doing changes being. I didn't start out as a speaker. I didn't start out as an academician. I didn't start out working with young people. But most of you would agree that those areas are where I have my greatest giftings. The giftings followed. The feelings had to catch up. I didn't feel like taking a $55,000 pay cut to go work with kids. But y'all, can I tell you, you don't become by wishing, you become by doing. So today I want you to ask yourself one question. What actions am I practicing that are shaping who I am becoming? Because every day your habits are teaching you who you are. Your routines are shaping your future, and your actions are introducing your identity. If you want a different life, start with a different action. Do the thing, practice the thing, repeat the thing, because eventually doing changes being. And one day you'll wake up and realize the one thing you once had to force has become who you are. The one thing that at one point you had to force, it's now who, good morning, Josh. It's now who you are. So today, go do the thing that you want to be. Small actions build big identity. Repetition rewires you. Stop waiting to feel like it and just do it. I'm the amazing T Street, y'all. There's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me that's not in each and every one of you. So today I want to say to you, doing changes being. So go do so you can be. Have a great day, y'all.